the UK has been very outspoken on the situation in Arakan State with regards to the persecution of Rohingya Muslims. Recently, there's been another outbreak of violence in Mongdor. What is your view on that?
Well, you may have seen there was a statement from us and from the US Embassy on Friday on that issue. We're very concerned by the reports that are coming in. It's not quite clear exactly what happened there yet. We've called on the government to mount a full investigation so that it's clear what's happened. I think more widely on Rakhine, the first and most important step is to ensure that the security, that these violent incidents no longer happen. And that's a government responsibility. The government has to ensure that security is provided to make sure that those violent incidents can't happen. Another very important issue, and I saw this myself when I was in Rakhine just before Christmas, is humanitarian access. Some of the internally displaced people are living in very difficult conditions, and it's very important that humanitarian aid gets through to them. And I think there's a misunderstanding that somehow we're favouring one community over another. And I just want to assure people in this interview that international aid goes to those who need it. And that's why it's going mostly into the camps where people are unable to work, they're unable to get out and earn money. And the government, again, must ensure that humanitarian access is guaranteed and people can get in and deliver that aid. Finally, of course, there's a bigger question about the future of Rakhine, the future of the communities there, and we are urging the government to take forward the process of citizenship to ensure that those people who are entitled to citizenship get it and their status is clear.
Rohingyas have been here, some of them have been here for generations, some were brought in by the British in colonial times. Are you for citizenship for Rohingyas?
Well, what the Burmese government has said is that they're going to apply the 1982 citizenship law. My understanding is that that says that if you've lived here for a number of generations, you're entitled to citizenship. Now, my view from our research is that a very large number of the Rohingya population will be entitled to citizenship under the provisions of that law. But of course, it's for the government to conduct an exercise to see who is entitled and who isn't. But I agree with you. The Muslim population in Rakhine has been there for many, many years, and we've done research which demonstrates that certainly when the British first arrived there back in the early 19th century, there was a significant Muslim population. So we don't accept this story that everybody there is a recent illegal immigrant. That I'm afraid isn't true.
The Rohingya issue can't be ignored, and there's so many people who have an opinion on it. Is there any role that we, Britain, can play to solve this issue?
Well, I think the international community as a whole can support the government and urge the government to tackle issues like security. We can, of course, provide aid to ensure that those who've been displaced are able to survive. And we can work with the government on the issue of the long-term status of people in Rakhine. So I think there is a role for the international community, but ultimately it's the government's responsibility to address the situation there.